We start with Rick actually trying to move on from Diane. He's vibing with Bagan, this cool bug lady from a few episodes back. She invites him to a family barbecue/ceremonial tournament, and for once, Rick's trying to be emotionally open. But he's still doing that thing where he pushes people away before they get too close. Things get messy fast. Remember that whole memory swap thing from last season? Turns out Memory Rick, a more wholesome, emotionally version of Rick, has been living in Jerry's head this whole time, and has been messing with Jerry's brain, making him actually like Rick, which of course freaks everyone out. Rick eventually catches on, yanks Memory Rick out, and resets Jerry's brain. But it doesn't stop there. Rick decides to fully let go of Diane, deleting all traces of her from his brain. It's a huge step for him emotionally, but of course this is Rick, so it backfires immediately. Here is the twist. Memory Rick isn't gone. He sneaks into Beth's mind, and so does Memory Diane, who's somehow been rescued from Rick's old memory vault. Now Beth's brain becomes the battleground for a full-on memory war. You've got Memory Rick, Memory Diane, Memory Beth's, dozens of versions of her, going rogue. They all start realizing they're just memories, and that realization makes them more unstable and dangerous. Meanwhile, Rick's date with Bagan goes south real fast. He blurts out that they're only casually hooking up, and in her culture, that means a duel to the death is now required. Bagan's family is pissed, she's embarrassed, and Rick isn't prepared for any of it. So he ends up having to sword fight her high school ex, Jack Poo. This is why Rick doesn't do feelings. Back in Beth's mind, things are getting worse. All the memory versions of her are confused, angry, and lashing out. Memory Rick and Memory Diane are just trying to survive. Real Beth, meanwhile, is having a breakdown. She even thinks she might have killed Space Beth during a fight, though thankfully, Space Beth's got that cyborg durability. Eventually, Rick and Space Beth manage to dive into Beth's memories and catch up with her. Beth is spiraling, holding on to these fake versions of her parents. She even pulls a gun on herself at one point, thinking maybe that's the only way to escape the madness. Rick finally steps in and gives her a real moment. He admits he's been a mess. He wasn't there when she needed him, but he's here now, trying to do better. That's enough to snap Beth out of it. He hugs her, and even the memory versions of her watch and wonder why they didn't get this version of Dad. But of course, Rick has to shut it all down. He renders Beth unconscious, resets her brain, and tells her the cold, hard truth. Memories aren't real. They can be just as selfish, twisted, and broken as people. But real Diane, the actual person, loved Beth way more than any of those fake versions ever could. After the dust settles, the family's chilling at breakfast. Everyone's a little weirded out, but mostly back to normal. Morty's kinda bummed that Memory Rick is gone, saying he was the nicer version of Rick. Rick just shrugs, saying he wasn't real anyway. Rick heads out to meet Bagan, somehow still a thing, but surprise, she's not texting back. That whole duel probably ruined the vibe. And then the show throws us one more curveball. Rick didn't actually delete Memory Rick and Diane. They're alive in this ant farm brain setup that Rick made. He tells them they can stay, but if they ever pull another stunt or get too close to the family again, he'll blow up their little world. It's Rick's way of giving them a happy ending, but also a warning. Rick logs off, wipes his memory of it all, and we get one final twist, a post-credit scene with Mr. Poopy Butthole. Turns out his wife Amy is spying on him from a lab, wondering if he's from another universe entirely. The season finale was all about Rick trying to grow emotionally, mentally, even romantically, but the show doesn't pretend that change is easy. Rick's got baggage, his memories can ruin entire people, but for once he tries to deal with it, not bury it. Deleting Diane wasn't just a sci-fi brain move, it was symbolic. He's finally letting go of the past, and yet he still can't help holding on to a piece of it. That's the most Rick thing ever. And Beth, she finally sees just how much her dad's messed up mind has impacted her. The memory battle wasn't just wild and trippy, it showed how trauma and love and resentment all blur together when you don't deal with your stuff. So Season 8 gave us sword duels, memory wars, and family drama on steroids, but at the center of it all, it's still about one broken family trying to be just a little bit less broken.